I'm Darrell Ogle, and this is the Shadowland Tarot by Monica Badursky. Just got this in from Amazon. Here is the front. Well, let's unbox it first. Let's get the paper off of it, the plastic off of it first, then take a look at the box. So, got this off Amazon. I believe it was $29, and it took a while to get here. Other people have unboxed this already, but this is my unboxing. So here's the front of the box. Here is the back of the box. Looks like MSRP is $39.99. So it's a nice hard box with a flip lid, magnetically sealed flip lid. And as you open it, we have nice decorations on the inside. I like that, very cool. So obviously it comes with a rather robust book, which is mighty thick book. How many pages do we have on this? I can't tell. I have no idea. Oh, here we go. Looks like 208 pages. It has a bibliography and it has color images as well. Very, very nice. Let's take a look at the deck. The deck comes with a standard wrap or standard piece of plastic that seals it up. So let's see. It's always interesting how to get these off. There we go. Take that off, and here is the inside. So it comes with this cardboard insert. So you get this cardboard insert within the box, and there is the bottom without the cardboard insert. Not a big fan of the cardboard inserts. I like the plastic ones, but take what you can get. So the deck does have gold edging on it. You can kind of see the reflections off of the gold edging, and wow, it looks good. So let's take a look at the deck, and then we'll do a 4K flip through. Let's zoom in on the deck. Sorry for the camera shake there, but that's the way it goes. All right, let's get nice and comfy and zoomed in. Here we go. All right, so let's sort of take a quick flip through. Again, we'll have a 4K flip through coming probably tonight or tomorrow. But the Seeker, by the way, here is the back, and card quality is, well, that doesn't move at all. That doesn't move at all. That is nice and thick. And you can see it has sort of a reflective coating. It's very thick. This is quality to the extreme. Very nice. So the Seeker, obviously the full remapping, looks fantastic. The Magician, I like that, sort of balancing everything. Plus, they have things on the table. Now this is interesting here. Like they have 3 feet. Now that is interesting. 3 feet. And the table leg is sort of a claw, like a skeleton claw almost. And the head on the Seeker is lost. High Priestess. Obviously, we have a little bat there. Cute. I have no idea what is. That's a book, I believe. Yep, it's a book. And standing on the moon, or standing on your intuition, maybe relying on your intuition. That is interesting. Plus the stuff in the background. The Empress obviously has the small sort of, almost like the children or the little creatures and the nature and things like that. The Empress does look possibly pregnant, another pregnant Empress. And we do have interesting things within the tree like the skull and whatnot. Thought it was pretty cool. The Emperor has, that's very interesting. So I like the hat. The hat is sort of there, and I'm not really sure what that is. Is that just a, is that his leg? Not really sure. That's an interesting combination there. The Hierophant, very cool. I like the horns. I like the horns as well. So very serious type Hierophant look there with the skull and whatnot. These do stick together a little bit, but once they come apart, they seem to be okay. So I like this, sort of the headdress being trees. The Lovers, a headdress being trees, and then handing a balloon, which looks like a balloon, off, and their headdress is a candle. That is interesting. All right, then obviously the Chariot, and the Chariot is kind of cool because they're holding up a wand, and then they have a star on their hat, and they're riding 2 spiders, I guess, through there. but they're riding away, which I think is interesting. I haven't seen many chariots where they're actually riding away, or are they riding towards me? I'm not really sure in this particular instance. Maybe it's towards me because the faces of the spiders are towards me. I don't know, it seems like they're turned around, or they just have a dramatic beard over their entire face. Strength with the weights. Very cute interpretation of that. I like the little flower as well. And one of their legs appears to be a peg leg. They appear to be a peg-legged with a shoe. And then the hermit is a ghost. Wheel of Fortune. Now that is interesting. So it's 4, 1, 3, 9, 6. So it's almost like you got an astrology wheel going here. I mean, okay. That is interesting how they redid that. Justice, we're weighing a live bird over some bird eggs. Interesting. Hanged man. Okay, hanged man. Not a lot there. Death and rebirth. So we have an egg sort of hatching, then we have another egg about to hatch, and then we have maybe a dead egg. So the egg has hatched, and they're waving at us, and they have eggs on their head as well. Temperance, we have a couple of skeleton legs with some shoes, almost like high heels. The devil has a bottle of something and money. So a bottle of something, maybe addictions, money, and then things are on fire. I'm not sure what they're holding that's on fire. That's pretty cool. You have interesting things on the ground that are burned out. The tower, somebody with an umbrella sort of falling off. And let's see, the star. That's interesting. So they're sort of pouring that. Multiple liquids. And the star is actually a balloon. That is cool. Then the moon, we have that sort of that skeleton head there. And again, we have a lot of leashes, a lot of control, a lot of leashes in here of people or things being controlled. Again, we have sort of a leash or a string attached to the sun, string attached to the moon, string attached to the lobster and things like that. A lot of strings with balloons and things. So the discretion, okay, and the world. That's a lot of interesting stuff in the world. Basically a little bit of everything with the same character, with the heels, with the woman's shoes. So Ace of Pentacles, sort of hanging on to that. Almost looks sort of like an egg instead of a pentacle. And the two, I'm juggling, but I have two different things. I have a human or a face, and then a bird. I'm not sure what to make of that. Then we have a pyramid on the ground. 3 of Pentacles, I'm showing off. There is my work. And let's see, the 4 of Pentacles. I have everything and I'm greedy. So a lot of, not as much interpretations here. 5 of Pentacles, I'm sort of broke and desolate. And in the meanwhile, other people look like they're having fun. But me, not so much. That's an interesting combination there. So the 6 of Pentacles, here we go. We're sort of sharing gifts, a lot of sharing in here. And the 7 of Pentacles, I'm not really sure what's going on here. We sort of planted things and now they're sprouting. And then the 8, we have a collection, we're working. And then we're making work, we're doing work, we're being prosperous with it. And then the 9, I'm sort of trapped in or caged in. And the 10, we have a little bit of everything. So a lot of the different stars with that. So the Page of Pentacles. The Knight with just a bag of money. How interesting is that? Right to the point. Right to the point. Then the Queen has money. And the King has just a pentacle. But they do have sort of interesting rock formations, interesting crystals on their thing. And then they have a stack of money here. So Ace of Swords, penetrating Kether, not so much. With a feather instead of a sword. The 2 of Swords being blinded to everything. and closed body language and closed outfit as well. The 3 will pretty much traditional heartbreak. That is interesting. What is that? Like a mailbox? I have no idea what that is. And then we have the 4 of Swords. And the 5, the Lord of Defeat. So he took the corn away from them, apparently. And the 6, I'm riding along and I'm being guided, almost like I'm being told where to go. And you have maybe obstacles that are sort of within that. And then the 7, that's an interesting interpretation. So something is already gone, something's already deceased, but we're taking it away. Maybe we injured this person during the meantime. Maybe we had unintentional consequences of taking things away. So the 8 of Swords, and that sort of rings true possibly with like today's environment with the coronavirus and whatnot, you know, sort of hoarding things and affecting other people or things like that. So the 8 of Swords, being trapped, being alone, being surrounded, and then the 9 having the nightmares, and then the 10 almost seems to pick up where this left off, right? So the 10 seems to be maybe a little bit of this person, a little bit of that character there. So we have the 10, pretty traditional here. Page of Swords, penetrating, that's almost more of a penetrating Kether than the Ace of Swords was, right? Instead of the feather, we have the actual swords. The Knight, very movement-oriented. Knight of Swords, very traditional with a very movement-oriented. The Queen, again, we have that full head of hair where we can't see. And then the King seems to be writing a letter and communicating with stuff. That could be a very good communication card. So now we're moving into the Wands. We have the Ace. Very interesting Ace. Ace of Wands. A lot of activity, but being helped and assisted within that activity. Then we have the 2. So the 2 of Wands. Okay. Domain. 3 of Wands, Virtue. We seem to be lighting up as well. Not only peering out into the distance and looking at things, but we're illuminating it as well. And then the 4, home card, pretty much traditional, but it's a pathway. So this is actually leading the pathway through there, which is interesting. And we have a couple of people over here wandering around. So the 5, that conflict, a lot of things happening with that. And then the 6 is Lord of Success and Victory. Looking good. The 7, oh, that is interesting. Being surrounded, defending yourself, but seeming to have almost facing away again. Then the pretty traditional 8, right? But this time you have somebody that's actually activating the movement. The movement is not doing on its own. The movement is being activated by someone or something, or maybe a couple of people. Now that is an interesting interpretation, because what if the movement that is being caused by the 8 is being caused by somebody? It's not just a movement, it's a movement because of something or some force. Then the 9 and the 10, pretty traditional, other than the sweater. All right, the Page, pretty traditional there. The Knight, a lot of activity, almost like they're moving out or they have something going on. The Queen and the King. All right, let's finally just look at the Cups. So we have the Ace of Cups. That's sort of interesting. Now the Fish is calling on somebody, calling out, playing an instrument maybe, being held up. Then the 2 of Cups, love. Love, there you go, pretty traditional there. The 3 of Cups with the friendship and the camaraderie, looks good. The 4 of Cups, the Lord of blended pleasure. Sort of, I have more than I want, I have enough of what I want, now I'm ready for a change. And the 5 of Cups, of that abandonment we have there. And the 6 of Cups, sort of a bit of that sharing action there. And then the 7 of Cups, I have a lot of different choices. Which choice would I want to make? Fire, money, not sure what that is. Snake, pretty traditional there. And then the 8 of Cups, sort of being abandoned. So that is formaldehyde fluid, embalming, embalming fluid. Interesting. So the 9 I have more than enough. In the 10, I have lots. Page of Cups, looking at the fish in the cup. Pretty traditional there. The Knight, not very traditional, interesting. And the Queen and the King. All right, so we've spent a lot of time on these cards. A lot of meat in those cards. A lot of beef there. Quite a bit of beef. Let's look at the book. All right, I zoomed out. A lot of beef there in the cards. Let's see what we got in the book. So we have acknowledgments, and then the foreword by Liz Dean. And this is very glossy, good-looking paper there. All right, so the major arcana starts on page 20. And for each major, we have the card, keywords, shadows, message, and then reflections. So each major is going to have this 2-page spread with the card, keywords, shadows, message, and reflection. There's a chariot. There is death. There is the devil and the world. And now we come to the minors, and we have just as much information. Now that is unusual. Very rarely do you see minors with the same amount of information or the same amount of meat as the majors. But yeah, you do have that. So let's look at the Ace of Swords, for example. And then the 2 of Swords. Look at a few more minors. Look at the 8 of Swords. And then the Page of Swords. Here we go. And we're on page 115. Okay, we got wands. We got cups. And then after that, on page 178, we have how to use the cards. There is the methodology, bonding with the Shadowland cards, cleansing, storing the cards, significators, timing your readings on the dark moon, waxing moon, different cycles of the moon. There you go. And then we have how to ask some questions. And then we go into the symbolism with the minor arcana, the wands, cups. Pause that and read. And the major arcana, it talks about, there you go, the card name and interpretation of the major arcana. Pause that and read. Then we have the numerology over here. And then the court cards, there we go. Reversals, spiritual hygiene, how to shuffle. And card layouts. We have evening meditation, card journey, morning cards. And 3-card spread is right here. Transition during times. Wonderful use of color. Wonderful use of color, I gotta say. And then we have a blockbuster 4 seasons spread. The 5-card element spread. We have the 6-card interpretation path. The 7-card shadows of the past spread. 9-card blockbuster. And pause and read with the example reading over here. And we have the 4-card moon cycle spread. Creating your own spreads. And finally, the 13 moon spread. That's a lot of cards. All right, we have a tarot fact at the end and about the author and notes. All right, and a bibliography. So looking at the size of the cards, if you look at a sample card versus the, there you go, pretty much just, well, almost the same size, a bit smaller than the Light Seers, a bit smaller. So you're talking like this, a bit smaller than the Light Seers. If we look at the, look at this, what is it, the Wizards Tarot, it's a bit thinner. It's a bit thinner on that width there. So overall, wow, extremely happy with this. Extremely happy with this. I would say this is a contender for Deck of the Year as far as just quality is concerned. Even if, okay, assuming you like the graphics, the quality, the edging, the gold edging, the thinness of the card, so you can get more on screen or more in there. I would say the quality of the book and the girth of the book as well, the number of spreads and whatnot, and the beautiful hardbound magnetic box. I think all of this really makes this one of the contenders for Deck of the Year. I'm just saying right now. I know we're early in the year, but I think I paid like what, 20-something bucks. Yeah, for the price, this is an exceptional package. Overall, I mean, a lot of care and love went into this package. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, and we'll do 4K flip through later. Thank you for watching.